Tonight for Texas, we have head coach Jarrett Elliott, Yazzy Bedartani, Chloe Collins, and Paulina Prieto-Sarame. Texas advances to Saturday's national championship match at 6:30 with a record of 30-2. Coach, if you'll start with an opening statement, we will open the floor to questions.
Well, I think that was a very high-level match. I think both teams played extremely steady. You know, you look at the side-out percentages and the way the team plays and the hitting percentage, I think it's was a big-time semifinal match, which is great for our sport to grow it. But we have a tremendous amount of respect for Minnesota. I think Hugh had an excellent game plan to go against us. I thought our serving did a nice job to kind of, get them out of some situations. And, I'm just so proud of this group. This is a team that never gives up. As I've said, there's a reason why I love coaching this group. We lose Chi, and our freshman Mo comes in, and we're able to kind of step up our game and play well. And, just the way that we played tonight was remarkable. For Yazzy to play the way that she did as a freshman and with no nerves is a tribute to her, but also I think it's a tribute to our culture in terms of getting her ready. I thought Chloe ran a great offense with her passers, doing a nice job. I think it was an all-around great match for us. And, it's hard for a team like Minnesota to go home playing that well. It could have gone either way. I mean, the first two sets we got a big ace and made a couple of big plays at the end. But I don't know, my mind's kind of racing, as you can hear, while I'm all over the place. But I'm excited for this group, and I'm so glad that I have another 2 days with them.
With your questions, please state your name and affiliation. We will open the floor.
Michael Shapiro, Daily Texan. Yazzy, what has your journey been like this year, coming in as a freshman and then having probably what was your best match of your own career thus far?
I've just been building each game, each practice, and I have such a great support group here, and they just really push you to be the best that you can be. So just going out there and working hard every day with them has probably made so much of a difference in my game.
Mike Malloy, NCAA.com. Chloe, this question for you. Yazzy was, obviously, she's a freshman, and she didn't play a lot the first half of the season. Did it take you a while to figure out where she likes the ball and get on the same page with her? And if so, has it finally clicked? Because she's had her best matches here in the NCAA tournament.
I think over time we developed that chemistry throughout practice. Even though Yazzy wasn't playing as much during the season, we would definitely get those reps in practice. So the chemistry was always there. It's just constantly building every match and through every practice. And she's done extremely well. I'm really happy for her.
Right down here in front.
Chris Polsky from volleyball.com. Coach, can you give us an update on Chi's status and if she'll be available Saturday night?
Yeah, she'll be fine. It had nothing to do with conditioning. She was just cramping. And I think some of the nerves maybe of this, she has a tendency that can happen. It's happened before in the season. We thought we were able to manage it through a kind of a half game, and then it got worse. And, we made a decision to kind of get her some medical attention to try to see if we get her back in case we went to Game 5, but I have no worries that she'll be back. No concerns.
Jack Hammond with Volleyball Magazine. Coach, when either Kansas or Nebraska look at the tape, they're going to see that the slide for Minnesota was just almost 95% successful. What did you want your athletes to do? What did they fail to do? What would you like them to do if Nebraska or Kansas comes back?
Yeah, I mean, this is the little team that could. We got some matchup issues. Amy's not a very big blocker. Chloe's not a very big blocker. We've got some situations where we got to be smart. We've got to be good with our serving and get them off the net. And I think that's kind of what we were able to do, to get them some predictable situations. But at this level, you're going to face that. And I think what we have is what our seniors have kind of labeled as amnesia. We let the big swings go and just got to be good with our offense. We don't have ways to counteract it. I thought, with the speed of it, we got to be a little bit more. We got to get over a little bit sooner and reach. But that when you run an offense like that, where you got a one and a wave, you got to respect the middle. But they're gonna get one-on-one all the time. So, you hopefully do a good job with the matchups in terms of servers, and some of the things that we were able to do helped us kind of get out of that.
Kevin Barnett with the Net Live. Coach, passing was an issue early in the season, ball control. A lot of people would say Texas, if they could pass the ball, there's no place they can't go. What were you successful in doing all season long to better that aspect of the game beyond just simple reps?
Well, I think Eric's, my assistant, does a phenomenal job training it, and we've just been building over it. But one of the keys is, one of the people that don't get any recognition on this team is Nicole Dalton. She was one of the reasons we won in 2012 as a DS. She's been injured. She's coming back from an injury. She wasn't able to win the starting spot with the setting, and Chloe's done a phenomenal job, and Cole has now, taken on a role that helps this team, and it shows a lot about what kind of people we have. But she really, not only is she a great passer, but she has great mentality back there and adds a calmness. So, I think we've got 4 good, really solid passers, and we can do some things with it, and we can control the ball. And yeah, this is one of the best passing teams we've had. Not one of the most physical, but we've been able to control the ball, and with our 2 middles, being able to hit, behind, we can do some different things that can give us some advantages matchup-wise, even though we're a little bit smaller and give away some other areas. But ball control has been the staple point for this team.
Coach, hi.
Hi.
Yazzy didn't play a lot in the first half of the season. Was she injured, or had she just not earned her way into the lineup? And talk about that, where she came from and now where she is, where she's had these last 4 matches have been her best of the year.
Well, we knew she was good. I think Yazzy from day one came in committed to what she needed to do to get better. Early on in the early practices, we had the preseason freshman of the year that transferred in that was playing on the right side, and Yazzy was competing on the left side and had some really good practices and was battling in that. And then when we lost her, we made a concerted effort to get over to the right, but it took a week or 2 to get it going. And in our gym, you got to prove that you can get to that point. And after about a week, you could just see that gaining some momentum and taking some good swings. And she early on in the season, I think she was just swinging as hard as she could and figuring it out. And now she's starting to get some range and some belief and able to deal with longer balls. We've been trying to get her, training her more out of system and longer sets, and she's done a phenomenal job on that. But the best thing about her is that she's got a confidence about herself that she doesn't need any kind of stroking from a coaching staff to convince her what she's good. I think she has that mentality. I think she embraces these situations, and I think that it shows a lot to our upperclassmen, to what you're doing. And that's happened, some of the things that she's done in the timeouts over the year, you can see, what her confidence level is as a young athlete.
Third row.
Chloe, in the first set, I think it was at 15-all, it was 13-15, you executed a setter dump, and then you appeared to strut, and Minnesota appeared to notice and was not happy, I think. I don't know. On the very next play, they got a setter dump, their freshman, right back on you. But from then on, when you would do that, you either looked right up at the ref or otherwise. Did somebody tell you not to do that? Was there any conversation about what you were doing or not doing out there in your celebration?
That was just me in the moment. Just really excited for myself and the team that we got the point. Throughout practice, Jared and I always discuss moments when I should dump, when I shouldn't dump, and that was just one of the moments when I actually executed. So it was just caught up there. And as far as the other moments of me tipping, it was just trying to have another one of those straight down moments, but it didn't happen that way.
Paulina, you came through in the clutch against Florida, and then that first set you seemed very comfortable. Have you been growing and just feeling more comfortable late in sets and late in matches this year?
I think just with the experience that I've had and having Yazzy and other newbies in the court has made me have to step up as a veteran, and I think that's given me confidence. And I give a lot of credit to my teammates and our chemistry as to why I'm so confident about myself and each other.
We have time for one more question.
Jarrett, when Chiaka went out, they clearly wanted to go after your freshman middle, but can you talk about just weathering that storm, other players maybe stepping up their games around her?
Yeah, I mean, it started to happen in game 2. So early on, I was communicating with Mo, saying, hey, this is your time. She's been great in practice. We have a lot of confidence in you, and let's go out there and have some fun and enjoy this moment and be the confident young lady that you can be. I think the telling, it happened. We got stuck in rotation 6. That's where it's Paulina and her in there. So we only have 2 hitters. So, the tendency is that you kind of ignore that player early on. I think, that's what they did. So I called the timeout and I called a 1 and made them stay and try to get them commit. And Paulina just actually went over them and got the big side out. And then we were able to side out the next time. They scored 2 points. Then we went a wave with Amy on the white to try to counteract some of the following that they were doing. Because when teams scheme, then the white at the middle of the net's wide open, and Amy took a great swing. So, it's a tribute to Chloe knowing what's going on, making good decisions. But Paulina stepping up, and, she's grown so much with her confidence and belief, and I think she's embracing the big swings right now.
Congratulations to Texas on advancing to Saturday's national championship.
Thank you.